Hello and welcome. The Supreme Commander Forge Alliance Forever. Might be wondering why those messages just came up and why two people have apparently already been deleted from the game. This is a game from the Shared Armies tournament. It's a sim mod you can enable when hosting. You can get in the vault. It's called Shared Armies. And it allows multiple people to control the same army. So, on the top team, we have Zlo, and he's playing Aeon, and also on Zlo's team, able to control all of his units and buildings and everything as he can, is Bravo and Inspector Cot. And this is an early round. I think it's round 2. I'm just going to slow it down slightly. We can talk a bit about the mod and what's going on. This is, yes, round 2. There's only one round 1 game, so it's the first game on Setton's Clutch, and this is a 3v1. Farms signed up for the tourney, and I think he was supposed to play with maybe Blackheart, but he was betrayed, so no teammate for him. He's solo versus the APM of 3 people, one of them being Zlo. I mean, it'll be a tough enough fight, Farms versus Zlo, but Zlo has helpers, got some minions to do a lot of micro farms. So Zlo, look at this build order right here. 2 factories, 1 PGen, 1 mechs. So he has 2 engineers being microing these attack moves so that they can do a lot of reclaiming trees. It's very, very, very effective. When you have all of this APM, if we look at Farms, has to go a bit more, well, actually, it's Farms, so he's actually doing an absurd amount of manual reclaim. Meanwhile, the other team is actually not doing manual reclaim. That's something right there. So Zlo already making his 3rd factory. He has 2 PGens thanks to all this tree reclaim. So quite an epic build order from Zlo's team. The help of Bravo and Inspector Cot. Blark looks like he walked his ACU a little bit. Oops. And he's going to go for an air factory. Is that a mistake or is that intentional? Don't think he's going to be able to use that air factory with just 2 PGens. It does have so much manual reclaim. And Zlo's team has made a little lab here. And that's going to be nice because, well, he's going to break some trees, and they have so much APM to use to micro this lab. So yeah, the Shared Armies tournament, very cool tournament, very cool mod. I hope people host some games with this and play together. It can get quite funny when people are... Oh, he missed the lab. Where's... Oh, guys, they missed the engineer. There's 3 of them and they all missed the engineer. But yeah, it's quite funny when people start giving orders to the same units at the same time and stuff like that. It can be quite funny. But it's going to be really difficult for Farms to beat 3 people here. Oh, look at this raiding Aurora. Going to be sent to the beach. No expanding engineers yet from Farms. But he does have more mechs, as he has been expanding to mechs a bit faster. Zlo's team has been just, oh, look at this, clearing up the trees, microing tree groups instead of building mexes, like here. And it's also chosen Aeon. Blark has Seraphim. And Aeon can be very deadly in the middle of Setton's Clutch. You have forced to send your ACU to mid because there is a shit ton of reclaim. And so the Aurora just have such a huge advantage because the land bridge is narrow. They can not only shoot the ACU from out of range, while he's reclaiming. They can also shoot units from out of range from the water. They can retreat to the water, kite into a place where they just can't be followed by the enemy tanks. So they can give you a huge advantage in mid. Often Aeon is the best faction in mid settings, generally on because you can just crush early on. And in the first, well, before 10 minutes, when you have the T1 land battle in mid and you're fighting over the reclaim, Aeon has a very good chance. So farms with the APM of a single man. Now he does have a lot of APM, to be fair, but so does Low, and he has a couple of helpers. So farms probably, well, I don't know how he expects to do on this map against Low's team, but we'll see. I mean, farms is probably the best player I saw come up since I joined FAF. RIP Nexus and Turin. But this is going to be a tough task. He's adding more factories, adding more power, getting his reclaim in mid, and there's an Artie, a Fervor, trying to do some damage, forcing him to move away from the reclaim. He can't stand still and reclaim here while there's an Artie targeting him. The Artie isn't microed, and it goes down. Still taking some damage from that, but not much. And oh, there's an Aurora now moving to the back. There's still no expanding engineers. Actually, oh, there was, and he's dead. This Aurora already got a kill. I don't see any kill on this side though, which is quite strange. And yeah, slow, sort of. Well, now we have quite a few engineers moving for Zlow's team around the top, but not too much on the rock side. I guess they're going to be dropping. That's going to be an important part. What the hell? Zlow is still in the base in classic Zlow style, while Farms is just sucking up all the mid-mass. This is ridiculous. And we do have a couple of attack move engineers here, which have grabbed a decent amount of reclaim, including 2 Salems. They can move over here and start grabbing these T2 and T3 Rex here as well. Somebody please micro them. Oh, now the ACU gets into range of the Aurora. That's not the micro we need to see. Oh, the dodging. Look at the dodging. See how Aurora have so many advantages. They can dodge so well because they have that autistic hover movement. They have more range than any T1 tank, and more range than a T1 ACU without the gun. And this is just being microed constantly back and forth, doing damage to the ACU. But Farm still, let's see the reclaim. Actually, Zlow has more reclaim. Zlow's team has more reclaim. Now we see 2 transports at once. This is the single player team. Single player team. The single player is using 2 transports at once. Meanwhile, the team with 3 players on it has not actually used a transport yet. Can you smell the tryhard? Oh, he has 2 72% mexes. Pause. Oh, that's 86%. That's quite bad. Quite bad for Farms building all these factories, and the mexes are paused when they're almost finished. That is a bad waste of mass. A waste of time, really. On the sides now we have some naval build power going up. Navy obviously gets more and more important and powerful as the game goes on settings. In a 1v1 scenario, obviously in team games it is the most important thing, generally, depending on the team setup. You have some very imbalanced air, then that's going to be pretty important too, but it's all about the Navy on settings. But in 1v1 there can be a prolonged land battle, and Navy takes a little time to become the focal point. We have look at all this dropping from Farms. 3 transports. Like, what the fuck, dude? What the fucking farms? What an absolute tryhard. I haven't seen tryharding like this since... I don't know, I don't even know what to say. Now he moves over, trying to get the last of the reclaim here. There's a bit left here for his low to grab. But look, I mean, even though he's had his ACU in mid here the whole time, he's been micring, trying to avoid the Aurora. Look at the spread of the Aurora. Just extremely good micro. I feel like this is low doing this mostly, to be honest. Somebody pick up this transport. It's at this point in the shared armies mod. Okay, now we see a couple transports moving. In the shared armies mod, I think, well, I played with Mozart in this tournament, and the thing you find, our first game is on settings as well, and it gets quite messy. I think the most important thing is good communication. People have to know what's being done and what isn't being done. So I would have one guy. You might have one guy focusing on maybe microing the army and the ACU at the front. And maybe also the rally points of the factories with the units, of course. That would be a good plan, then deciding when you need an AC upgrade, or maybe Zlo can make that decision, because he is the most experienced player by far, the best player here on this team. And then you have another guy maybe focusing on doing unit drops. And look at this unit drop. We have 4 engineers and 2 Aurora, and they're going to drop right next to the factory. And so the factory is going to disappear very quickly. Could even be captured, but they're going to reclaim it. And Farms needs to react to this very quickly, because its engineers are going to build a base. And then we could have units in behind. Look at this. Oh, we have Auroras being microed. Just single Aurora at the back raiding. They haven't been killed. 5 kills on this guy, doing a lot of damage. Just a couple of Aurora that have made their way there through the beach. In mid, Farms being pushed back. Still fighting, hasn't lost too much HP. Zlo's ACU's finally here, and they're building a lot of factories around mid. Now, quite a few Aurora have disappeared. I think the Zooies are doing quite well. And actually Farms has a decent air force as well. Looks like Farms doing pretty okay in air. Might have the lead there. And he's also stealing his opponent's island. There was a drop moving to the left here for Zlo's team, but I didn't see what happened. I guess it got reclaimed by these engineers. And Farms gonna have both islands. He also has a proxy in the top ocean. But over here, 2 factories are up. A 3rd factory for Zlo's team, and there's Aurora. These Aurora were dropped with the engineers, and he's making labs out of the factories. That's going to be difficult to stop. He only has, well, I mean, he could get some THAMs around, but he has no factories in the back at all. We have a factory here. We have a factory here on beach. We have no factory at the back. The engineer is going to die as well. He's been spotted by this Aurora, so this factory will not go up. There's no factory. Obviously, Rock looks completely dead by now. A 4th factory going up. Mex is being built by Zlo's engineers. This engineer going to go down. There's no factory or anything here. This Blark, and Blark now sees what's happening, sees the labs. And using bombers is not going to be too effective versus labs. In mid, still he's just constantly being kited back and forth. He's doing quite well. Got a decent amount of kills on his ACU and some vet. But how much ground can he really make up, and what can he actually achieve here when his, oh my god, the labs. He's dropped some units on the base, hoping to take out these factories. The Zooies will do a good job. THAMs can hopefully protect them from labs. And maybe he can kill these factories and stop the rot, but there's so much damage already done. Look at all these missing mexes. This Aurora has 9 kills. This Aurora has 6. Aeon Kappa says Blark. Well, it's T1 hover cancer in mid all day. Blark is still decent health, and Looks like Zlo just doesn't want to fight at all. It's just chilling. I think he can see that this game is looking very good for them. Look at that. There's 30 labs all around the base. All of rock is dead and being colonized. All of air is dead. The last couple of mechs there are gonna be killed. And he only has beach and mid. That's it. And this is the value, oh, the beauty of having 3 players APM. Oh, we actually have a Mercy in mid as well, looking for Blark's comp, and there's no T2 land, I don't think. I don't see it. No, we just have a massive T1 spam. So many factories. And also, we have T2 air, so we will get some. Oh my god, these mechs that were almost done forever are still paused. And that is depressing. More drops. So it looks like he may finally kill these. Yeah, he will kill these factories. So they immediately start building more factories over here. We'll see if they get completed. Mid is it's a wash. Nothing won or lost here really. Just a lot of units traded back and forth and a bit of a reclaim field, but it's only a T1 reclaim field. Certainly needed for farms, but he needs a lot to get back in this game. Let's take a look at the score. We have big score lead, a reclaim lead for Zlo's team, and a massive economy lead in terms of mass income and power income. Don't know what this Zooey is doing here. Looks like he's being followed by an Aurora though. Now the Zooies move in, take out all the naval production on the south side. The labs are moving towards this base, and there's only Zooies, so if they keep microing, then they will be able to kill everything here. The factory, the whole base, all the Zooies, so somebody just better take over here, and looks like somebody is microing this like crazy. And if they keep microing, they're going to kill everything eventually. They need to actually get a bit closer and get into range though. And so it looks like this expansion will die, and it's missing like 20 mexes at least. And there we go. All of these are dead now. So now what I want to see is drops to make more proxies here. You could drop here, steal these mexes. Drop rock again. There's no radar, but really, I think this proxy here has already won the game. The amount of damage, not just this proxy, but actually the 2 Aurora that got into the back, just killed so much stuff. Stopped him getting any factories up, and stopped him getting a lot of mexes. And so Blark, without factories, then couldn't produce any thams at the back of his base to defend against labs, and so they did massive damage, killed everything. If he could have had a factory where he wanted them, which would have been, he would have wanted a factory here and here, at least one, then he could have reacted a lot better, but because of the damage of the Aurora, he couldn't react and stop the damage from the labs that came from the proxy. Now we have Blark getting T2 in his commander, making some PD. It's not really going to help him at all. I mean, there's only just a bit of T2 land here, some fucking blazes. And that's just safety first, but he really can't afford a safety first approach because he is so far behind. Now his expansion, I have to say, the re-expansion, very quick, quite impressive. A lot of dropping. He has T2 transports, so he has an army of Zooies, so we need to see really just a whole lot of Zooey drops killing a dozen T2 mexes for Zlo maybe, and then that would still not even the game up probably. I have 2 shields protecting the power income. Still have a lot of T1 pigeons. They're not going to be reclaimed to protect against drops, and TML going up on the ACU. Looks like the air has been conclusively won by Zlow's team, and all the frigates in the top ocean have been cleaned by these torpedo bombers, and also the naval production will die as well. And then we will have likely some T2 Navy. Here it is, and it just looks worse and worse for farms. So we will see how they end the game, how farms gets killed. I mean, I guess you just send Destros to mid and this ACU is fucked. Should also have some T2 Navy in the top ocean, I think, quite shortly. And T3 land on the way. So just as sentence goes, you just make really everything. All tiers have their place. Here comes Blark on the move with his ACU, T2 gun, and TML. And we have a drop towards the power, but that's easily stopped. Again, T1 PD is set up to stop the drops, and there's 3 shields, so not much going to get through there at all. TML firing in, hits the shield. Does he know there's shields here? Well, now he does for sure. And his ACU TML is not going to get through those. ACU TML does not fire fast enough to break T2 shields. Well, unless it's Cybern, I guess you can probably break. Well, you break the T1, the first Cybern shield with just one missile. We have some blazes. I don't know if they got dropped or they just ran here. They're doing damage, doing raiding. Can probably run towards the back, get a lot of kills. Blark's pushing slowly but surely with his ACU, but the longer he waits, the more Destros are going to arrive in mid. There's already one on its way. Could be forced back by all of these Zuis. I think some T1 bombers wouldn't go astray for the top team. T1 bombers can do a lot of damage, kill a lot of these annoying Zuis. The blazes being microed, sent in different directions. And we have Aurora heading to the beach. There's no naval production anywhere for Blark in top or bottom ocean. There's an absurd amount of T1 naval factories here. That's just wasted mass, really. But I don't think it matters too much. They're just going to focus on, I think, not letting this ACU die. That's the only thing that can really cost them the game, is a snipe. But I don't really see any snipe coming from Blark. The problem is there's no way to get a snipe through. Look at this vision. The top team can see the entire map. The frigates giving a lot of vision on the top side. There's air scouts everywhere, including all over his base. And yeah, he can see everything. Zlo can see everything that Farms has. And there really isn't much danger to this ACU. Could probably stand under some shields or make the shield upgrade or make T3. These things are all good to make your ACU less vulnerable. Definitely recommend doing those HP upgrades and build power upgrades when you are in a completely dominant position and you just don't want to get sniped. Should get those and then stand under some shields. So let's see how the game ends anyway, because I don't think there's much competition going on. That's a blaze that just got reclaimed by some engineers. Alright. Yeah, damage being done everywhere. PD's going up, but 10 kills on this blaze. A little drop here, some factories and engineers going up, units getting to the back base now. You can see just how much Blark has to deal with. It's actually Now you see the pain of not having APM. There's units everywhere. Unit here, 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 here on the rock. Like, you just can't micro all that. Can't defend against all of that. And in mid, all the units constantly moving back and forth, avoiding damage. And yeah, I bet he regrets signing up alone now. But yeah, it's a very, very cool mod. A lot of fun. Hop into voice chat with people and see what happens. Oh, Blair getting some kills on some frigates. He's gonna get his last vet very shortly. Overcharges a frigate. And so close. He's being forced into the water now. There's torps and gunships coming. And there is no flak actually at all. Here it is back here. And this will be the end. Gets his final vet, which will prolong his suffering. The T2 air is gonna deal with him. If he goes in the water, he dies to torps. He comes out, he dies to destrals and gunships and T2 land, and even T1 bombers. The powerful Sarah commander is not going to go down without a fight, but there's not much to be done. And this is the end. GG, well played. Both teams. Slow's team looking strong here. This this lab proxy, very, very cool. And yeah, great mod, great tournament. And now we can see that, as Inspector Cott says, 3 is indeed greater than 1. So well played to the Russians under Zlo, and thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. Oh, and I think I'll be casting a couple more games maybe from this tournament. It was a lot of fun. So yeah, check out the mod. Also, Soviet Pride has started casting some games. There's a link on my channel to subscriptions, and there's a link in the description of this video to his channel. So go check him out if you're hungry for more casts. There's not too many casters out there, and his are quite good. Definitely knows his stuff. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.